Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having a really good day today. So for today's video, as you will have seen by the title, I'm going to be doing my top three makeup products in each category. Some of them I don't even have 3 in, so I was really being picky. So I've been seeing a lot of these videos like circling around and I just think they're really informative, and yeah, I just really wanted to do one myself, and then I can look back at it in like a year and see if my preferences have changed. Also, please don't mind this makeup look. I know my lip doesn't match my eyes. I was doing a full face of first impressions, which I'm not sure will be going up before or after this video, but I will leave it linked in the eye if it was up before this video. If not, keep an eye out for it. But I'm gonna stop rambling now and let's just get into the video. I am so hot. It's a problem. So I have got all of my products here. And yeah, I suppose we should just go straight through them, shouldn't we? So I'm going to go in the order of how I do my makeup. I'm going to show you this one first because I think this is genuinely my favourite primer I've ever used. I really like this primer. This is the Nyx Bear With Me Jelly Primer. I love this primer, honestly, like so much, and I don't see very many people talk about it. The only person I've ever really seen mention this primer is Hannah Renee. She likes this primer. It's really hydrating, but it leaves your skin with that like tacky feel. So I really like this primer, and yeah, I think it's going to be one that I just continue to purchase. Next up is the XX Revolution Hydrafix primer. This has got like aloe vera in it, I think, I'm not even sure. Oh, it has aloe water and cactus. It feels really hydrating on your skin, but again, it leaves your skin with that like tacky kind of feeling. I like my primers to feel like they're actually helping to keep my makeup on or stick my makeup down, you know, that kind of a vibe. So yeah, I really like this one as well. And the last primer, I've not actually used that much, but from the few times I have used it, I know I really like it, and that is the NYX Honey Primer, or Honey Do Me Up Primer. I really like this primer. I think I've only used it like a handful of times, like maybe 5 times at a push, but every single time I've used it, my foundation has gone on flawlessly, and yeah, I just really like the way it makes my makeup look. So those are my favourite primers, all drugstore. The one primer I really want to try is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer because that is supposed to be amazing. So once I've worked my way through a couple of primers, I'm definitely going to be trying that one. On to brows. So I'll first show you the products I actually use to draw my brows on. So I have a pomade, a powder, and a pencil. So for starters, I'll show you the pencil because this one kind of shocked me. This is the MUA Brow Define Eyebrow Pencil, and I actually got this in a glossy box, but I haven't used MUA products in a while. I'm not sure if my camera's even focusing on that. I've not used MUA products in a while, but this brow pencil, like, I always just reach for this brow pencil when I just need a quick brow that is just gonna go on really easy and really quickly. I reach for this because it is so quick and just easy to use. It has the spoolie on one end and the lid is a sharpener. Honestly, so handy. It is just really good, and it does an eyebrow in like 5 minutes. You know, like eyebrows doesn't always have to be really stressful. So my favorite pomade I've ever used for my eyebrows is the ABH brow pomade. At the minute I have the shade Ebony, which is just way too dark for me. But the Dip Brow pomade is one of my favourite, sorry, I've got really itchy eyes, is my hands down favourite brow pomade I've ever used. I've never used a pomade as good as this one. It is just one I always come back to. And if you know of any dupes for this, let me know because I'll be down to try them. But yeah, I love this brow pomade, and it is going to be one that stays in my collection. I think I'll always have one of them in my collection. And then the very last brow product is the BH Cosmetics Brow Duo. I have the shade Warm Brown. I have it on my brows right now and it seems pretty dark, but you basically get 2 shades, and as you can see, I have gone ham at the top there. I use mostly the darker shade just because the warm shade I just feel like is a little bit too warm for my hair. But I do really, really like it, and it's so easy to use. And okay, sorry, there was a car that just went past, blaring out loud music. But it's just so easy to use, and honestly, it's so easy to just make them hair-like strokes. You could do a really like fluffy looking brow with brow soap and stuff, or you can do a more defined brow. I like to do a mixture of both. But yeah, I really, really like this brow powder, and it's super cheap and really affordable, and I do really, really, really like that brow powder. So then I'm going to move on to like brow gels and stuff. The first product I've only used once, I'm not going to lie to you, but the way it had me feeling, I gotta show you. It is the ABH Brow Freeze. Sorry, it's really hard to show you this without blinding you. I used this on my eyebrows. It literally just slicked my eyebrows down and they did not budge. The only thing was I used a setting spray afterwards, and it was quite an oily setting spray, and I feel like it did like make the wax waxy again. I know that probably sounds stupid, but it made them look, it like made my brows look shiny for a while. I had to go back in with the powder. From the one time I have used it, I know for a fact I'm going to be using this constantly, and I think I would probably use this mostly with a brow pencil, and then just fluff my brows up really easy, and then just do a few brow strokes with a pencil through the sparse bits off my brows. That's how I think I will get to use this. So I know it probably seems stupid, like how can you say it's your favourite when you've used it once, but the way this stuck my brows down, oh my god, I just can't. I honestly, you just need to try it. It shook me. Then the next product is actually an empty, but I kept it purposefully for this video. So this is the NYX Control Freak Brow Gel. This brow gel just sticks my brows down so easily, so quickly. It's clear, so it never makes my eyebrows look too dark, and it just keeps my eyebrows in place, and that is all I want in a brow gel. So yeah, I really, really like this brow gel. And then NYX just do some really good brow gels, because my other favourite is the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. And this is what it looks like. This is what the mascara one kind of looks like. It is a really, really good brow gel as well. So NYX just do some really good brow gels if you're on the hunt for one. So then on to foundation. So I've picked out my three. So the first foundation, I'm pretty sure they're discontinuing and they've come out with a new formula, which I've not actually tried yet, but my favourite foundation is the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation. So this is my tan shade, obviously, and I love this foundation. Every time I wear it, my makeup just looks flawless. It's such a good base, and it just lasts all day. It never gives me any problems. It doesn't crease, it doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look textured, it doesn't emphasize my pores. Honestly, it is one of the best foundations I've ever tried, and I do need to get the new Formula One, but I've heard mixed reviews on it, so I'm a little bit nervous because I'm really hoping that they've not ruined the formula, because I love that foundation so much. The next favourite I've actually not used in a while, but when I was going through my drawers, I instantly saw it and was like, oh my god, I love this foundation. And that is the Revolution CC Perfecting Foundation with SPF 30. I think it's going to blind you, so I'll just tilt it down a little bit. It's a really, really good foundation. It's full coverage, but it applies like a CC cream type foundation. It has hyaluronic acid in it, antioxidants, collagen, and obviously SPF. And yeah, like I said, full coverage, and it just blends out so easily. And again, kind of the same with the Maybelline one. My makeup just applies so well over top of it, and it's such a good base, and it just lasts all day. And there's not really much more I can say about it. My third favourite foundation, I've only used a couple of times, like maybe like 5 times-ish, but I love it, and every time I've worn it, I've absolutely loved it. And that is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. I love this foundation. I love the frosted packaging. Love this foundation so much. I have actually got the wrong shade. The shade is actually too light for me. There's a wasp. I'm just gonna shut the window. Yeah, I really don't want him getting in here. So the shade is actually too light for me. So I do need to get my actual shade. Sorry, he's scaring me. He's like flying around the vents around my window. But obviously I need to use this one up first. This foundation is so good. It lasts an unbelievable amount of time. It lasts so long and so well. When I wear this, when my oils start to come through, it doesn't break up in weird places. It doesn't like make me look textured or creasy or greasy. Yeah, it just, honestly, my makeup just stays on so well, and honestly, I couldn't recommend it enough. So then on to concealer. Now, I haven't actually picked 3 concealers, and I actually kind of struggled to pick concealers because, like I've been saying in most of my videos, I'm on a hunt for a good concealer. But these are the 2 that I have picked out. So the first one is the PS My Perfect Colour Liquid Concealer with medium coverage. This is what it looks like. This is the thinnest concealer that I own, and it honestly just applied so nicely and so thin, and it didn't make my creases under my eyes look worse or more emphasized. And when I powdered it down, it didn't look dry, like overly dry and cakey under there, or textured or anything. It just looked really nicely under my eyes. The second one is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer. Again, love the packaging. Got that frosted glass. It just looks super expensive. I love this concealer. I've only used it a couple of times, but I do really like it, and it is more of that full coverage sort of concealer, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe it's a medium coverage, I'm not sure, but the coverage is good nonetheless, and it is, again, one of them that just doesn't make my under eyes look really creased, because I have a lot of creases under my eyes, so obviously I put concealer on and they get in the creases, but I don't have the problem with this concealer. So I'm a big fan of Fenty's complexion products. So then on to powders, and I have actually picked 3. 2 of them are brand new. So the first powder is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish powder. And that's what it looks like. Such beautiful packaging. And then I actually stuck my brush in it, so sad. But yeah, this is a really good powder. I've only used it the once, but honestly, I only used it under my eyes and it just looked so flawless. It didn't make my eyes look dry, cakey, crusty, none of that. It just literally set my concealer down. And it just looked really nice. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just looked like there was a filter on under my eyes. It's probably the best way I can describe it. The next one is the the I Heart Revolution Peach Scented Baking Powder. Now, this doesn't actually smell of peach. It does have a scent. So if you're not into scents, you probably won't like this. It does have a scent, but like, I don't think it's peach. Like, I know that probably sounds stupid, but I just don't think it is. It's a really good setting powder anyway. It literally, I used next to none of the powder, which is unheard of for me. I'm the kind of person that has to keep putting powder on until I feel like my foundation is set, because obviously I'm really oily. I have really oily skin. And this, I literally just put it on, my foundation was set. Maybe it was the foundation, but I'm pretty sure it was the powder too. The powder just set my face down really nicely. Then the last powder is honestly probably my favourite, I'm not gonna lie. It's the Fenty Beauty powder. So this is the Pro Filter powder, and this is what it looks like. Honestly, look at this packaging, like, gorgeous. This powder, one, smells amazing. It's such like a I don't know how to explain it. It's like such a faint smell, but when you get that like, oh my God, what is that smell? And it's like a vanilla-y, like sweet kind of smell. It's really, really nice, but not very strong. I don't want to make it sound like it's a really strong scent because it's not. But that's not the only reason I like this powder. It is so good at setting my makeup down. It doesn't make me look cakey or overly powdery. It just sets my foundation down and my concealer down really, really nicely. And yeah, it holds in place amazingly. Also, there's so much in here. And you need to use like the teeny tiniest amount. And I have oily skin. I have very oily skin actually. And you literally use next to no product of this. So it's going to last me a really long time. So I do actually think it is really worth the money. So bronzers. Now, this is actually really hard for me because I haven't purchased a new bronzer in a hot minute because I have so many bronzers, and I kind of came to the conclusion that like bronzer's not one of my favorite makeup products, so why would I keep buying more? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I've been trying to use up my bronzer that's in my project pan. So when I went through my bronzers, there was one that straight away I was like, oh my God, I really like this bronzer. And that was the Doll Beauty Gimme Sun bronzer. I think they've actually changed the packaging of this now, but I actually really like the Love Heart packaging. And that's what the shade looks like. I got the shade Light. Really nice. It's just a really easy powder to use. You just whack it on, jobs are good in. I don't really feel like there's too much to talk about. It's a nice warm bronzer, and it is a little bit cool as well, so you can kind of use it to contour if you want to, but I just whack it on as a bronzer. But yeah, it is a really, really good one. And then the only other bronzer that was in my collection, and I thought, you know what, I actually love this bronzer. It's not actually a bronzer, it is a finishing powder from NYX. So this is what it looks like, and it's in the shade Golden. And basically this has like tiny, like, it looks dewy, like wet almost. And when I put this on my skin, it just adds a kind of dew to my skin. Let me just get a better swatch. So as you can kind of see in the light, it like has like a dew. I don't know how to explain it other than it just makes my skin look a little bit more lifelike. And that is why it's in here, because it is one of my favourite like original kind of shimmery bronzers. But it's not overly shimmery. It just kind of makes your skin look lifelike. And that's why I like it. So those were my only two bronzers because, yeah, I've not really been buying bronzers lately. So I need to work my way through them so I can buy some new ones that I can get excited about. So then on to blush, and I only have drugstore blushers. I really like drugstore blushers. The first one is a matte blush, and it's the EX1 blush in the shade Pretty in Peach. This is such a beautiful blush. It is matte and it just makes you look so sun-kissed, and it's really soft and not overly pigmented, so it's not like scary. Like you can, I really like to pile the blush on, so I apply like 15 layers of blush, but I never go OTT with this, if that makes sense. Like I feel like it would be really hard to go over the top with this blush. Then the next blush is Milani Luminoso. This is what it looks like. And it is like a shimmery blush, but it's not shimmery where like it looks like you have highlighter all over your face. It just looks like your skin is like glowing, you know? It's a really, really, really pretty blush. And the only thing I don't like about this blush is the packaging. It just feels really cheap, and I hate that it has this brush underneath and then this little flip bit. Yeah, I don't like the packaging, but love the blush so much. And then my last favourite blush is a Revolution blush. It's the Blusher Reloaded, and not any particular shade. This is the shade Peach Bliss, but I just mean this formula of blush. It is so, so nice. It just applies really, really nicely. Again, it's not overly pigmented where like it's scary when you put it on. You can just build it up and have fun with playing with blush. And that's what I like about blushers. Like, not the ones that go on super, super pigmented. They give you time to work with them. And, you know, I get to enjoy putting blush on. I love blush. I've always loved blush. So then, highlighters. And this wasn't hard for me at all. There was a few brands of highlighters that I don't want to show on my channel. So there are some highlighters that would have made this cut, but I'm not going to put them in there because I don't want to showcase them on my channel. So these are the ones that are in here. The first one being the Dull Light highlighters, so the Dull Beauty highlighters. So this is the shade I use on the day-to-day, and then this is the one I use when I'm tanned. I love Dull Beauty highlighters. They are gorgeous. I just got the duo palette because I wasn't sure which shade I wanted, but these highlighters, oh, I just honestly, I can't get over them. They're stunning. I love these highlighters, and they don't look overly powdery. They just look, you know, glowy and nice. Love those highlighters. The next highlighter, I just wish I had a different shade, is the Revolution Strobe highlighter, and this is the one in Flash. Honestly, it's gorgeous. It has a green tint to it. It's a little bit icy, but it just looks so, just gorgeous on the skin, and it is a beaming highlight. Look at that. It's gorgeous, and honestly, I need to get some different shades, but I'm just trying to use up some of my highlighters before I buy new ones. That being said, a new one that I did buy recently is the ABH highlighter in the shade Iced Out, and I love this highlighter so much. It's a bit of a hard pressed highlighter, but it is stunning. So it has like a gold reflect to it, but on the skin, this just looks like you're glowing from within. It doesn't look like you have highlighter on. It looks like you just have a glow to your skin, which is what I really liked about it, because I have to use a lot of powder products because obviously I have oily skin, and I feel like that highlighter just helped me to look dewy rather than I have highlighter on, you know, and that's the look that I am going for. Okay, so I had to put my hair up. I just got too hot. So the last three product categories. So first of all, setting spray. And I only have two setting sprays that I've picked. So the first one being the Fenty Beauty What It Do setting spray. I love this setting spray. Mine's almost all gone, but you best believe that when this runs out, I will 100% be buying another one, because it is just one of my favourite setting sprays. It has such a fine mist, and it just makes my skin look really dewy rather than like powdery from the powder products that I use. It just helps to make my skin look a little bit more skin-like and healthy and alive. The second setting spray is the BH Paradise Set Hydrating Setting Spray. For exactly the same reason, it has a really, really fine mist, and it makes my skin look more skin-like. There is a reoccurring theme going on here. So the way I like to do my makeup as of recently is have my base for like long-lasting properties, and then apply like dew to my face afterwards with like setting sprays. And also my primer, I usually use a hydrating primer and then a dewy setting spray to kind of help my face not look as matte. So those are my favourite setting sprays, and yeah, I haven't really tried any others that I've really liked recently, so they're my two favourites. So then I'm going to do lipsticks, and then I'll do eyeshadow last, just so I can do some swatches for you. And again, I only have two lipsticks because I haven't brought any because I have so many. I did a clear out and I realised how many I threw away, and I just thought, oh my god, I'm not buying any more until I've used some of these up. So they're both lipstick style lipsticks. They're not liquid because I just found that I don't really like liquid lipsticks anymore. So the first one being this So Sue lipstick in the shade Birthday Suit. I got this in like a set. So that's what the packaging looks like. I got it in like a lip kit. And that's what the lipstick looks like. It's a really, really pretty shade. That is the worst swatch I've ever done. Just kind of like a darkish pinky mauvey kind of a nude colour. I really, really like it. It's really nice, and it doesn't feel drying on my lips, which is what I like about it. So that's the first one. And the second one that I've actually really been enjoying using is Soph and Revolution's new lip kits I have the shade, I'm not even sure what shade this is. I don't know if it says what shade this is. I'm guessing the shade would have been on the box, but I don't think it has it on the actual tube. So yeah, I'm not sure what shade this is, but basically it's a lip balm lipstick, which I really, really like. So it's quite sheer, but when you apply the lip liner as well, that's where you get like your pigment from. Really, really nice. Really, really comfortable. And yeah, it's a lip balm with a little bit of a pigment in it. So what's really not to like about it, it helps to hydrate my lips throughout the day, which I love. And yeah, I've really, really been enjoying using it. So it's fast become one of my favourites. So then the last products, or the last product category, is eyeshadows. And this wasn't actually that hard for me. I kind of knew straight away what palettes I love the most. So the first palette that I have only used once, I'm not gonna lie, is the iconic London Day to Slay eyeshadow palette. I love this eyeshadow palette. The mattes are super, super easy to blend but have a really nice pigment. The shimmer shades go on beautifully, especially if you use your finger. They go on gorgeous. I've only used 3 of the shades so far, but I liked every single one. So this is a really, really nice palette. So those are just 4 of the shades. So 2 shimmers and then the 2 mattes in the middle. Just look. They honestly are so easy to blend, so easy to use as well. Like, they have pigment, but it's not like a scary amount of pigment. I don't know what Aurora's playing with downstairs, but it's so noisy. Yeah, I have only used it once, but the shades I used were amazing and just so easy to use. It's not like scary pigmented, but it still has pigment where you don't have to keep just applying and applying and applying and applying eyeshadow until you eventually have the colour on your lid. The colour comes up straight away, but it's just easy to work with. And I would 100% recommend this palette. The next palette is any of the ABH palettes that are in the suede packaging. I have Modern Renaissance and the Norvina one. I love both of them. I use them regularly. I love these eyeshadows. I don't know about any of her other palettes because I've heard that like the big Norvina palettes are really, really bad. But I know that Norvina and Modern Renaissance in the velvety suede kind of packaging are amazing. They're my favourite formula of eyeshadows. They are quite powdery, like in the pan they give a lot of kickback, but they are really, really pigmented. But they are really pigmented to the point where actually you kind of do have to be a little bit careful. You only need a small amount on your brush. And then the last eyeshadows that are my favourite eyeshadows at the minute. Every time I've used these eyeshadows, I've never had any problems, and that is the Beauty Bae eyeshadows. I have the Big Brights palette, this palette, the Pastel palette, and the Mitchell palette. I love all of them. I've never had a problem with them. They are so pigmented, but so easy to use. They're just amazing, and you get mirrors in all of your palettes, which is nice. I actually like having mirrors in my eyeshadow palettes. Also, this mirror is just the 9-pan palette, and I can see pretty much my whole face in this. I can see my whole face, but I kind of have to move around a little bit, you know? But these eyeshadows, honestly, they are so, so good for the price. They honestly, for a beginner, I think these are the palettes you want to go for. This palette is my favourite, the 9-pan Fiery Matte palette. And I'm glad I got all mattes because it made me fall in love with full matte eyes rather than always using shimmer and stuff. I fell in love with just a full matte eye recently, and this palette is literally my go-to. I literally had to stop using this at one point because it was all I was wearing. My go-to look for this is these 2 shades right here. They literally just blend into each other so, so, so nicely. And then if I ever go too far, there's a really pale shade in there to help me blend out. So yeah, you also have a really deep brown, which you could use for a smoky winged liner. Honestly, this is my favourite palette I've brought. So those are all of my favourites in each category of makeup. I really hope this video helped you out. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. Comment down below what your favourite products are at the minute, what your favourite makeup step is in your routine. And if you're new around here, I would love if you could subscribe, because I'm really trying to hit 400 subscribers before the end of the year. So I would love if you could join the fam. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.